that.
Copyrighted music must be turned off. The 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 robots in the internet are so like efficient today that if they catch music in the background, they can throw you out of like YouTube or something.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah. So that's like I'm a bit like always. Is the cautious the right word?
Yeah. Yeah, no music. It's some 1984 shit, man. Really? Yeah, crazy.
I could actually I could play the microphone with the
Oh yeah.
Nice pie.
Yes.
Where did you woke up yesterday?
Yesterday we were in Oslo.
Oh.
And then we flew here from there. We did a tour with Brandon Lopez, his bass player from New York. And we've been playing with him like in the past 2 years. His electric trio, like amplified saxophone, electric bass and drums. So we did a small tour with him, like Sweden, Denmark and Oslo. Yeah.
Oh no.
And Rome. First gig was in Rome. So
Rome.
We met in Rome and then we went to
Ciao.
Sweden. Ciao.
What?
And then yeah, from Oslo yesterday. We were staying with Gura. You know Gura? This bass. You know Gura Moe, this bass player who lives
Probably
in
not.
Oslo.
Probably not. I don't know.
So yeah, we were staying with their friends of ours. So we stayed there.
Where did you
an
play in
extra
Oslo?
night. At this Café Harvark. It's a new place. They've been there for like 1 year.
no more
2 maybe.
which
It's nice, small. It's like they do a lot of stuff. They're just open and this friend of ours, Andreas, who is also from there, this young guy, is like 24 or something. He started this festival because you know in Norway there's this Kongsberg Jazz Festival, which is like this big. I think it's the biggest jazz festival in Norway. It's like party kind. I mean, not as big as party maybe, but like something like this kind of
it's
things.
old. Kongsberg.
Yeah, it's also old there.
Since the
But,
70s.
This young guy, he's organizing.
No, he's doing a counter festival because this Kongsberg, since like a couple of years, like there was this scandal that came out that they found out that they are sponsored by weapons factories. yeah.
That's always funny, but
Yeah, so this friend of ours, he started this Motwind festival in Oslo. That was like a counter thing, and then like he actually went. He called him to this I don't know, some local TV, and he had a meeting with the Prime Minister of Norway. Like it got that far, because he was really like making a lot of noise about this, and they are actually changing now, like their fundings, because of course like then a lot of people get to know it, So it's like sometimes from a very small thing, like the noise gets so big, and then they went like like then people knows what we are doing, and they're changing a bit, so it's.
Smith and Wesson is sponsoring this podcast.
Well.
No.
Not-
Nice.
I hope they send a big check then.
Yes.
They're paying me in bullets. Or something.
Black
Yeah.
metal then. Black metal belt. No? We do a black metal belt then.
Yeah, but belt is filled with bullets.
But yeah, so it's this guy who does a series at this Café Harvark, improv work it's called.
Was it in central Oslo?
Yeah, it's next to Blå, this other venue. It's like the
Oh,
bigger-
Café Blå.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's just
I've been there.
next to it, like a.
Yeah, it's in there's this like a. I think is it like an artificial river or is
Yeah,
it
I
a
think
real
it's
river?
I think it's real.
Yeah, I don't know. That's this river. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never.
I really like to. That's my favorite spot.
Yeah,
With
beautiful.
those
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah, beautiful. So it's nearby. It's in that street. And it was Copenhagen the day before at Alice. This is a new place. I mean, it used to be global. It's like they merged global and jazz house in Copenhagen into this other new venue.
Was it in Christiania?
No.
No. It's in Nordebro.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Copenhagen I think in a month. I haven't been there like in maybe 2011 last time.
Ah, okay. Wow, long time.
I think a lot of things changed.
Yeah.
So they always say, I don't know. But I think usually when I was younger, I used to visit Christiania a lot.
Yes.
Like I talk about like early 2000s. I spent the summers there or something.
Wow,
it
camping.
Yeah, but it was like a last time I visited there, it was like a it's first like a how you learn things and grow older. That I think the same darkness was in Christiania when I was younger. But, you know, there was this hippies selling like hash and
Yeah.
cool place.
Yeah.
But then there's always those like muscular Russian gangsters like 10 steps behind them.
Yeah.
And I bet they were there when I was like 18, but I didn't care about them.
Yeah, of
but
course,
last time I was there, like 2011, I was like taking a notice that
Yeah. You realize.
that's really like a dark.
Yeah.
But maybe it's fun to like if whenever I'm in Copenhagen, I should like peek in the Christiania. What's going on there?
Yeah, we were there. We were in Copenhagen for 2 weeks last year, doing this residency.
What was that? What were you doing in Copenhagen?
Excuse me.
What were you doing in Copenhagen?
Residency of 2 weeks, like
residency.
recordings
Oh,
and
Music.
it was for this festival of endless gratitude.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think Launa was there like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yes, for the one of because they do it at this time of the year. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she was playing that. Nice.
I like the name of that festival.
Yeah.
So
I think it was started from. Is it one of the guys from Animal Collective? No.
Oh,
Some
really?
American guy.
I don't know.
No, which band?
I don't know what it is.
Panda
Yeah.
Bear or what was that?
Some of those guys, I can't remember now. I should. But I remember he started it and then I don't know how it went. Like they asked him because maybe
Or
he was
some
living.
hand of the man.
Yeah, one guy from one of those bands from those years, he started it and then they kind of took it and they asked if they could do it because he didn't want to do it anymore. Something like that. So they took over and they just kept. It's like 10-12 years that they do it now.
Yeah, I also like the festival name, the Best Kept Secret.
Okay. Where is it?
I don't know.
I
I think it's in the UK or somewhere in Netherlands or somewhere.
Okay, no.
But that's the part of the thing that I don't even know where it is, but it's like they have a great lineup and
Okay.
I think it's a bit similar as the Legeshu in Utrecht.
Okay.
But it's like but I like those kind of festival names that they're like a bit poetic or something.
Yes.
It's not always like some Red Bull rock.
Yeah, no. Fuck Red Bull, man.
This Red Bull is essential in making this podcast.
Okay. Oh.
No, it's not. I don't have any sponsors.
Good.
But anyway, if they were doing that anyway, fuck Red Bull.
Yeah, it's okay. We could say
We can say that.
We can say Red Bull
Yeah,
sucks.
fuck Red Bull.
The life.
What kind of shit is that? It's really shitty taste.
But it happened to us because
I need to be like awake for an hour if I record something. Then after that I just pay for the price. But
Well, you can cut, and paste.
I could also sleep during the podcast.
Yes, I'm really disappointed about these things anyway. This Red Bull thing. Going to artists like Peter Brosman or KGI, and ask for a review, and I don't know if you saw that.
No, I don't know anything.
I saw that, but just slices because I'm not interested to follow interview of Peter Brosman by some random person doesn't know anything, of course, about his past. They just give her question to tell to him to make him explain about his past and present, what he did.
Yeah, crazy word.
Then I don't know, it's strange. Yes. Strange because it's not, you know, the music Peter was playing is not meant to go promote by something called Red Bull.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I don't know. So, and I think, of course, people are free to do what they want, but I don't agree to mix up, you know, too much in the society.
I've been like battling that if I get some funding, I don't know if I should get it rather from corporation or government. Is it like a
Yeah.
which is the worst evil?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But always,
Maybe you
it's
could-
like it was always like feel like the counterculture thing is like
Yeah.
the man, the government is the man, and then it's like a dirty money, and then the corporations are their own thing. But
Maybe you should find some guy who has some money that likes what you do and just gives you some
Sugar
money.
daddy.
And, once in a while you give him a pack of records or something as a gift, stuff like that. So maybe at least you're sure, you know, more or less.
maybe I should start a Patreon or some kind of crowdfunding, and then it's like I don't know where the money is coming.
Of course. Yeah.
Maybe it's better like that then. So ignorance preserve people, you know. Ignorance sometimes preserve people. Sometimes.
Mi prenderesti le zucchero se c'è dietro.
How much do you guys tour in a year? How many days do you have? Like
3. Here in Finland it's 3 shows.
but in a year?
Ah, in a year, okay.
3.
I don't know, it depends. There's not a rule really for that. We used to do a lot.
Yeah,
more
I remember
in the
that.
past.
Yeah, I remember that you were always like
Yeah, like
somewhere.
100 or something, you know. It's like, but it's just too much. Sometimes it's like I don't know. Lately we prefer to focus on like stuff that we really want to do instead of just traveling. I mean, it's like when you're just touring all the time, like 90% of the time you just spend it on the travel, you know, and then it's like 10% is like the actual gig, you know. Although when you're doing like more like let's say like a residency or just being home, you know, recording and like working on music, then you can really work on music like, you know, 10 hours a day and not just one, you know. And it's, I mean, traveling is nice, but it's a bit, you know, it's yeah, you're using the time for traveling and not for making music. I mean, of course it's inspiring, you know, to be traveling and meet people, but if you do that all the time, I think you kind of lose the point.
Have you ever suffered of like a traveler's melancholy?
Like missing home or missing the road?
Yeah, missing the road. Basically.
Yeah, of course. It's yeah, it is like that. You know, when you're on the road, you miss home. When you're home, you miss the road. Of course.
Yeah,
but
but
lately, not really. Like this summer, we were at home more. Of course, we were at home, but we also had like nearly every weekend we had to go somewhere. So it wasn't really like being at home for like too long. But it was nice. Like I really enjoyed, and like I was drawing a lot, and he was working on recordings and just also like just jamming. He was plugging like all these electronics stuff and just you know, experimenting and like studying, you know, also that's how to do.
Where is your
things.
home?
It's near Venice in the countryside.
Okay.
Like 1 hour south.
Like in the Bologna house.
No, it's not so clear to. I mean, it's like 2 hours from Bologna. It's like on the seaside. It's a swamp.
Okay, swamp.
Kind of. Yeah, yeah. It's
You live in
really
a
flat.
swamp?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's the delta of the Po River. So it's like a lot of islands. Really flat. A lot of mosquitoes. There's
Do you have
flamingos.
big mosquitoes? Do you know Finnish
All
mosquitoes?
sorts.
I
all
know, I
sorts.
know Finnish
Yes.
mosquitoes. Lapland, they're the worst.
A bit aggressive. So.
They're small and they come all together. You can do nothing.
Yeah, it's like a hot Lapland kind of place.
Feels so Lapland.
Something like that. Yeah, and yeah, it's not so bad. It's like 1 hour to go to Venice, 1 hour to go to, let's say, Padua, 1 hour to go to Ravenna. and it's nice to bike around. It's just countryside, you know, small places.
Yeah, the traveler's melancholy was something I've been traveling like past maybe 4 winters, more or less. Maybe spending like at least a couple of months on the road, just going from one place to another, and then at one point, maybe when I'm in Finland, it's like I start to think about places in London and in Berlin and in Morocco or somewhere, and then I just start to like it's like a sort of sad realization that I can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know if it's like fear of missing out, but it's like it's weird that I never experienced that kind of thing. It's like you just then I start to work that I need to be in one place at a time or something. But I understand that my friends who they tour a lot around the world, I've been talking with them that they have similar like symptoms. And it's lots of melancholy. That's the word that they use.
I think I used to have it more, cause we like in the past we did more like long shots of 2-3 months on the road and then like 3 months like always at home. So that was a bit.
You like you arrive in a city, then you play there, and then you leave in the morning and you go to the next place.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like also in the past, like I don't know, we did some tours that maybe we went to the States and like maybe not every day, but maybe like 2 days in a place and then like 3 days in another place and like moving around a lot. But sometimes you would go back home after like a month that you are like in, let's say, Canada or like the States or like some like really whatever different faraway place, and then we would come back home and say, okay, what do I do now? You know, like what's like, and then you look around and you're like, I don't know, this all sucks. You know, like, but yeah. But lately, I enjoy more like doing maybe shorter travels, like more like more often, but shorter and like not these big blocks of like 2 months on the road and like 2 months at home, but maybe like you go away for a week and then you're at home for 2 weeks and then you go somewhere else for another week, like these kind of things. It's a bit more easy and I don't know, you can enjoy things a bit more, I think. Well, both things, you know, like it's nice to be home too. And do stuff. Yeah.
Mosquito farmer.
Yes, yes. But we went to China last year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but super like just for 3 days, you know. But still, we never been there before, and it was our first time in Asia, and the impression was so big that even like after like a month that we were back home, like I would still wake up in the morning thinking like, wow, like China, like I was thinking like when we were there, like what we did when we woke up in the morning and like what we did during the day and like how people was you know like how we you know we related with people and like I was like really like it gave me such a big impression that I was like really like after so long like still like thinking about it, even if it was just like 3 days, you know.
America is that when I think about California especially, it's like a dream. Yeah. It's a dream. I can't like believe that I was there. Like, I was there for 3 weeks or something, but it's not real. It's like a
me too. Yeah,
but not for California. True. I mean, coming from Italy to California, I can see maybe.
Come on, the first time you went,
they're really similar. Right?
Yes, exactly.
I think I've said this before.
In big scale, you know, everything in the California is bigger, but it's kind of.
They're both they're like the prettiest places in the world I've ever been. Italy and California, they really are. Yeah.
I don't know. Because the first time I went, I kind of was impressed, and then the second one, I was trying to find out.
I didn't see everything yet.
No, but I saw a lot. We drive all California also, from down to from Los Angeles, from San Diego to up to Eureka, even more Eugene, up to Seattle actually. So up to, but I saw all the California. I saw where you can go and pick up your own strawberries if you want to buy from the field.
Oysters.
We tried many things. Ocean, this and that. We went to play on the ocean too. So I saw, and then probably saw less of Italy. That's the thing, which I'm kind of, because I never saw Sicily, for instance.
You've never been to Sicily?
No, never.
Me
So there is stuff from my country I never see. So I kind of but I saw some really common point between those two. They have a big. The food is really good in California. Of course, it's more expensive than what you can spend in Italy for maybe the same. But it's really good. It's really research, and the first matter. I mean
Good vegetables.
the vegetables are amazing. It's good. It's a nice place to be. I mean, but I think you need to be rich if you want to live well in California. You can't be,
Yeah, nowadays.
Or if you bought the apartment in the 60s. That's
Yes.
the other.
Yeah, but even then, I think a lot of people got kind of kicked out by all these Google people. New wave of Californians. That are like buying everything.
I mean, it's nice. Even I think the weather is even better in California than Italy.
It's
The weather.
more fresh.
Yeah, because the winter doesn't really exist.
That's true.
It's just the month of July is a bit foggy, and
No, I like seasons.
yeah,
So I like.
in Italy we still have this thing about seasons, where maybe the winter doesn't last 6 months.
Yeah, but
here.
in the mountains, I mean, there's a lot of mountains in Italy.
Yeah.
If you are like up like 1,000 meters, then you have long winters there.
Yeah, but not extremely long, It's still like.
I mean, not as long as in Finland.
Let's
but
say in
still.
Italy, the winter time starts in December and it ends in April. It doesn't last more than
No.
this.
At least in the north, in the south, it's even shorter.
Yeah, in the south it's even shorter.
When are you going to Sicily?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I know I'm gonna be amazed about.
Maybe we move there if we see it.
Before leaving for this trip, we were in Rome, and our friend Cristiano, which was hosting us for. Actually, we went in Rome a day earlier of the gig because we want to be there and enjoy a bit the Roman thing, the Roman day. And they brought us in the Appia Antica, which is the oldest
Road.
the Roman built to cross Italy. I mean I would say.
Yeah, it was like the old highway,
Yeah,
like the main road,
It's beautiful. All the construction,
crazy.
the building they did. It's really powerful. So. After to have seen that, I can say, okay, in California they have good this, good that, but this stuff doesn't exist. And it's really powerful still, I don't know if you ever saw the Colosseum or stuff like this. I mean, of course it's bullshit for tourists, but if you try to think how old is this stuff, and how humans develop, how the civilization developed, and these are really our ancient, let's say, culture. I'm amazed about that. Now we have this fucking phone and this machine. At the time, there were nothing like that. It was just about. I don't know what it was about at this point. Like it's something magic. That's the thing. I can't even understand how they could. How they came out with those ideas. Crazy monuments, let's say. Now for us they are monuments, maybe for them they weren't at the time. They were some meaning we don't know, And I think there is no books can tell you the real thing, Even about the gods, there were a lot of story about gods, Like I think the Greek and the Romans has this thing about even for the wine there was the gods of the wine.
Dionysos.
No, Dionysus it wasn't.
Sì, è quello greco.
Yes, in Italy we have Bacco.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's like Bacca is like the Latin word for festival, for example, is Bacca now. It's the.
It's good you know Latin because I don't know.
No, I know menu Latin.
But I know about more the Italian Roman gods than the Greek. Of course, I know they were influenced.
I think they were basically the same, but they had different names. They were just the same, like a
Yeah.
Justice League or what's it, you know.
But anyway, I'm really fascinated about this. How and then of course the Christianity changed everything. And
Yeah.
of course we are just the roaches of what is.
The beginning of the end,
Yes.
Christianity, probably.
No, maybe the beginning was different. You know, now we are really on the end of this thing about
I don't know.
Christianity thing.
Where did you play in Rome?
In this new club called Clang.
Is it like you played a new venue in a like a? I remember in Rome it's like a. It's so like a common thing to have something really mundane, like everyday stuff, like a barber shop or something. It's like in an ancient temple. You know, it's like they have so much old stuff there that they like use it like a storage. There's like a. They store there like a Coca-Cola bottle in some like a shack that was built like thousands of years ago.
Probably.
It's crazy.
But it's like you have it's like a new venue.
Yeah, the venue is new. The building, what is it? No, it's
The
not. It's
building is,
nothing. It's nothing.
Pretty big venue anyway to be Rome because.
But what is it? It's not. No, it's nothing. It's
No,
nothing old. It's like probably a building from the 60s or something.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
But a nice venue, really like a strange to be in Rome because it's huge and the music they want to do is pretty narrow. They have an idea of what they want to do. It's not open to, you know, wherever.
No, it's pretty much only for like experimental and a lot of improv. And they are trying to do shows like every night, which is crazy. And there's not really like another venue in Rome for that.
Sorry,
nowadays.
the venue they like prefer experimental stuff.
Yeah. Only
Only
experimental and
experimental.
a lot of
Oh, wow,
improv.
that's cool.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
electronic to free improv to jazz improv, only for experimental. No,
Yeah.
no space for.
I don't know much about Italian music. That basically you are the only Italian artist that we ever had in our lineup.
Oh wow, crazy!
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. We always notice that there's not so many like at all the festivals we play. It's really rare that there's other Italians. It's like I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's very insular. Like Italians, they have kind of like their own thing going on in Italy. Maybe it's a bit like that in Finland too. You know, like because Finland is also like really like a lot of Finnish stuff is not so well known outside. And the other way around. And Italy is a bit the same, like they have their own thing going on and they're like also like festivals in Italy, it's like like clubs. Nowadays it's like a lot of like almost nearly all Italian bands playing at Italian festivals, you know. Unless it's like maybe like in the jazz or like free jazz, bigger maybe kind of venues, then of course there's a lot of like those international usual names, but like underground festivals, it's very much all Italian stuff usually, no?
Yes,
I
more or
think.
less.
And venues too, like it's a lot of
I mean, there is not much
Why? I don't know why,
for
yeah.
experimental music in Italy. It's pretty-
What is the capital of experimental art in Italy? Is there some?
it changes
In
all the
Italy.
time. I mean
No, there is not capital.
no.
It's spread. There is
Yeah.
some stuff in Milan. Now there is this place in Rome.
It goes on phases, like the area where we grew up. I mean, not really where we grew up, but where we moved. Like after, like when we were 20 or so, like we moved around Treviso, which is like north of Venice.
Yeah,
And,
there's the airport. Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
exactly. Around there where the mountain starts, kind of. And there, like from like the end of the 90s to like let's say 2008
8, 10.
maybe. It was a really good times. There was like a lot of really a lot of like DIY shows and a lot of like bands and projects, like a lot of noise actually, a lot of noise bands, and they were all in this area, which is there isn't even like a big city, you know, it's just like villages around the mountain, but there was like a real scene there, like it was maybe like 100 people, you know, but still like when there was a gig, like everybody would go, you know, and like it would be like this group of friends pretty much, like being at all the shows, and then like from there like moving like then things get rolling, and then like from there you would start touring and like go somewhere else and go other places.
Many American bands came to Italy
Yeah,
to play.
or like bands from
But many.
all over.
a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Every month there were the touring band.
Mm-hmm.
So the people, let's say, from Vittorio Veneto did the show, and then the people from
Yeah, like you could easily find 2-3 shows in that area, like in different small towns, and that was easier to do that than to play one show in Milan, for instance. Like really funny. Yeah, I don't know. It went like that, especially between like late 90s and beginning of 2000. There were a lot of.
But that
like,
disappears.
places.
kind of.
It's kind of it is kind of disappearing. I think now like a lot of the young people, they all move to Milan or like to the big cities, to study, and then like
Or they
just
have
do
family
things
now
there.
and they don't.
Yeah, I mean the people our age grew up, and maybe they're like tired of setting up shows because of course at some point you get tired of doing it,
Yeah.
And then the younger, they mostly move, to bigger cities or abroad, They don't really stay there so much anymore. So I think Milan, there's a lot of places nowadays. Torino is good. I like Torino a lot, but that's always been like it always had its own scene kind of and its own circuit. There's this radio blackout that's been around for like 30 years. This is like kind of, let's say, anarchist radio, but they're like more like like doing a lot of information, and like it's a good source to get like different kind of information, and they're like
That kind of thing, like a radio station, that could be easily like basically one guy, one guy has been doing it for like 30 years.
Yeah, these are a group of people. It's
yeah.
not one guy, and they've been changing also. It's and they're like pretty active also, like on the like resistance kind of side of counterculture and such. Like last year they shut down this squat in Torino that has been around for like a very long time.
No, I don't know if it was long.
Yeah, well, maybe 10 years or something, 10, 20. And they were like kind of organizing, or like not organizing, but like, spreading the word and moving. There was like 3,000 people that went to demonstrate against this, and the radio was like, spreading the word a lot. And just, then they do this festival, the people from the radio, every year, which is like free entry, and it's like this big festival in Torino. They have a lot of different music, and pretty much everybody is going, or like welcome to go, because it's like they do it like free entry on purpose, just because they want it to be like something that everybody can check out and just enjoy some good music, and I don't know. Yeah, so they are doing a lot for the city. It's
cool. Where did you find Kemppainen and the other Finnish?
Well, in Finland, of course. And it was through the Kubica guy. Do you remember this label, Kubica?
What was that?
Kubica.
How do
Q-B-I-C-O.
Maybe this.
Yeah, he was vinyl label. He was doing vinyl at pretty much at the time where everybody stopped doing vinyl. He opened the vinyl label.
Okay.
So like when did he start? Like
2000,
2000 maybe?
or 99 or something like
Something
this.
like that.
Or real 2000 when.
And the guy was really like he would find out about stuff that nobody else knew.
It's kind of freak out.
Yeah.
Free form, freaky music.
Yeah, and we found out about the label because
we want to buy a vinyl, and he had this
Andrew
website,
Barker
yeah.
and Daniel Carter.
And then we met with the guy, and the guy became kind of friend, and then he introduced this. He told us, you should know these Finnish people.
He put out our first records.
There's a connection with the Finnish.
I think we came the first time to film because he was doing this Kubico Unite,
Yes.
like a small festival in. I think it was at the Dynamo, no?
The first one, I think it was at Dynamo, and then he did another
In
one
Turku.
in Telaka, I think, in Tampere.
So we came over and we met Tero and Sami. I think the very first Finnish we met was Tero. Yes.
Exactly.
First one was Tero.
Tero,
First
yeah.
Finnish we met. I think. It's like, when a little, when a little duck comes out of the egg and then the first thing they see is the mom, and then for us, the first finish we saw was Taro, like, Taro.
Could easily be replaced, the flag of Finland could be replaced with his face.
But also another, I think we didn't meet Taneli the first time, we met him later, but I remember this guy from the label, he gave us this Boris Morgana record that he put out, and we were like, wow, like the Finnish are really like, he does so much good music, and he was putting out, he really liked the Finnish scene, this guy. So he was putting out a lot, also the Talvi brothers, of course.
Of course.
And then what else?
Many things.
Yeah, a lot of the Finnish underground. We got to know it through him. So it's, yeah.
I have to ask Taneli actually after this podcast that where have we met before, because I know his face from somewhere, but we never actually officially met before.
You never introduced yourself to him.
We introduced in a hallway.
Okay.
But I'm sure we met somewhere
Of course.
over the years. But
probably.
I never was like a label guy. I didn't follow. Now I do follow labels, but when I was younger, I didn't care for labels that much.
So did you follow more bands?
Yeah. But that's all changed now. Now I trust the label. I trust certain labels that they do some great work, and I can.
You trust the choice of labels now. Wherever, if you love a label, wherever new records come.
I always check them out. Yeah.
That's also good to do.
I think it's the
Why not?
way to go usually.
And usually in London, Cafe Otto is like a place where there's always something interesting going on there. I used to spend a lot of time there, but it's I don't know if that's like a experimental venue that it's like dedicated to that sort of thing would work out in Finland, for example.
There is not a place like this here.
Like Cafe Otto, which is like a strictly
daily gigs. They have a gig every day almost.
Sorry?
They have a concert every day in the cafe.
Yeah, but it's of course London has such a volume of people, it can survive.
Yeah. And this place, Alice in Copenhagen, is a little bit of course it's a bigger building, but they also have shows. It's crazy. We were checking out the September's program, and it's every day they have shows, and it's because they merged these two venues, as I was telling you earlier. The jazz house that they have been around since, I don't know, maybe the 70s or so. There's been the old jazz club in Copenhagen, and then this other venue called Global that was more for world music, and they merged them together. So now it's really a really crazy program, and it's good, to have places like that spread around Europe, and then that if you want to see a gig, you can just go out.
Yeah, so it's back on battery problems.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not, but I put this a stamina mode. I think it's a
save energy. No.
I hope so. The owner of the device told me that if it looks like the battery is running out, put on the stamina mode and it will give a
second life.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's see. So you have three shows in Finland. I'm actually trying to put this episode out today, so there's a promotional value. So you're playing today, Tuesday in Helsinki, and tomorrow in Tampere, and Thursday in Turku. Friday you were going to studio, I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking forward. They told me.
Hämeenlinna.
That's a nice word to pronounce. You're going to Sami's place.
Yes, and I think there's a studio now from them, some friends of theirs.
Okay.
In Hämeenlinna.
He's the guy who played trumpet.
Yeah, the trumpet guy. What's the name of the studio? I can't remember, but Taro can help, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then you are flying out on.
Saturday.
Where are you going?
Home.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was a short stint of a tour.
Yeah, we were touring before, like until yesterday. We did this 1 week tour, like around Scandinavia, like Copenhagen, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, pretty much.
How long of a holiday you have now before your?
It's we go back home for 1 day, actually,
1 day.
and then we leave again for France. But it's like for 1 week.
Okay.
We have like another tour in southern France, and then we are at home. It was kind of we knew it, that from like let's say half September to half October, we knew that we were going to be on the road more. But then after this, it's pretty quiet.
Do you have like somebody works for you?
No.
Yes, God.
God.
How do you book your
God.
shows?
We are doing all the booking ourselves. No, we don't have a booking. It just makes things more complicated sometimes. And nowadays we know so much people. We have such a good network that it's not really needed. Actually, like booking people sometimes in agents, they are writing me to ask for contacts, and I'm like, fuck off.
You could do.
Of course, I help a lot. I like to help musicians, and the bands. Like when somebody's asking me for contacts, I'm glad to give them.
I have really complicated relationship with booking agents.
Yes, of course.
It's always like sometimes I like to work with them, and sometimes they are just on the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, making things. But it depends also who you are working with, because I don't know. We have some friends in Padova who are like, they have this organization.
What was that? Where?
In Padova. Which is like not so far from Venice. It's like this. It's actually the town where the first university was ever born. Like back in the days.
In the 80s.
That's it. In the 80s of 1200 maybe or something like that.
In the 80s when Galileo Galilei was saying
crazy.
that the world is
a ball.
a big ball.
Yeah, what was the university born in Galileo days? So isn't there?
Yeah, the first university was in Padua actually.
Yes.
It's the first one ever. Yeah. And anyway, there's these people who does shows there from like 70 years, like really long. Like they started as a chamber music series. It's called Centro d'Arte. And they are like really important. Like when we were teenagers, like the first shows we could see of like improvised music, because we were already getting into it. It was these shows, and they were like they were part of the university in the beginning. These people, and now it's like they have their own thing going on, but they are also still connected to the university. Like they have like kind of like almost free tickets for students, like €1 to get into to see a show.
And for what I remember, when I was teenager, no, more. Anyway, such a name, they could be impossible to see anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of
big
musicians.
I saw Skoda Nibbio. I don't know if you know who is this bass player.
Yeah, it was like a legend.
I was a kid, and now when sometimes I hang out with people, musicians, they speak about. Now it's gone. It's dead.
Yeah, it's that like 10 years ago.
It's one of those crazy bassist with crazy technique, his own way to play, and not much people knows, a little bit obscure, but still one of those, main.
Yeah, he did people. A lot of modern classical stuff.
And we went to see him, like we were a little bit, ignorant.
Yeah, we just went to see a lot of the shows.
Because of course there were the opportunity, and we were really into music, experimental, avant-garde. Since when we were teenagers, or really young, I never really listened punk or this stuff. I don't know.
Oh, we went to a lot of punk shows.
Yeah, but I was more impressed about experimental music since when I was, and then at some point I kind of rejected. It was really strange. When I was 25, I started to, fuck this. It's too intellectual. I don't know. I had this.
Reject.
And then he came back.
Yes, of course.
Maybe 5-6 years ago, he came back really more with more consciousness. Really I don't know. It's
But
anyway. Thanks to them,
Yeah.
I could see really high level stuff, and
And then in recent years we became friends with the people who are doing these shows, and we were talking to them because like they told us that a lot of the things they book is through this agency that is like passing them a lot of the stuff, and this we were telling them like, well, I mean, why, like, you know, so much people, why don't you just book the musicians like without going through the booking, you know? And they would say, yeah, you're right, but also on the other hand, with some musicians it's really hard because like maybe they say yes to a date and then they realize they have something else. So it's
exactly,
like, you know,
yeah.
it depends. You know? It's like up and down. You know?
Yeah, I know that's the price. Sometimes musicians can be pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, some people know how to, you know, organize. Some others they're like they just want to play, which I understand. You know, I would like to do that too, but sometimes when you leave someone else organizing things for you, then you can't. And then if you have someone doing it for you, you can't complain because, you know, like, you accept that someone is doing it for you. I don't know. I prefer to do things myself usually, pretty much.
I think it's mostly in my head, but at some point, maybe in Hokak days, I think most of the booking agents in Finland, they hated me. They had like, I think they had some like dinners where they talk shit about me.
Because you are sneaking in.
Yeah, I'm sneaking in.
I mean, of course, if they are charging crazy prices to have a band you can have or a musician you can have, I don't want to say cheap, really cheap, but anyway you can have for a decent deal. I don't like parasites actually, so I'm kind of against booking agency because sometimes they're really parasites.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like I think like promoters who like to take advantage of artists. So
of course.
It's like a this.
Of course, there is also there is artists they don't have visibility if they don't go through a booking agency you know, because maybe I don't know. I think everything exists because it's needed in this world. So for us, booking agency, they are not needed. So we can talk shit about them.
Maybe I can do now.
But I don't know, it's kind of funny because I think they kind of create an addiction in some way, because I noticed that when someone is using bookings, then the way of dealing with people when they are touring is like, okay, I'm going to this place, and like they don't really pay attention to who is setting up the show. It's like, okay, it's just another promoter, you know, just another guy who is setting up the show, and then they don't dare, like, you know, knowing the person, you know, like that is, you know, willing to set up their show. It's just like another guy, you know, and then of course the next time, you know, they have to use the booking again because they don't know anybody, even though they've been on tour for a month. They met people, but it's like, okay, you know, like, okay, that's where I am today. Tomorrow,
the human relationship stop.
Yeah,
the business,
it's different, you know.
The business side, you know.
You don't really create something like on this tour we met again, like our friend, this guy Martin Pale from Aalborg, and it's so funny. We met him the first time like 15 years ago because we played at this punk venue in Aalborg. I think it was our first Europe tour or something like that, and we were like, I don't know, like 20, 22, and he was like 15. Like really, like, and like he showed up to the gig and we're like, wow, he's really a kid. I mean, like, we were young too, but he was really a kid, you know. And he came to the show and he was super shy, and like he bought all the like we had like CDRs and like tapes, you know, like, and he bought everything we had, and he was like pretty shocked. And then when he went back home, he was like writing us an email like of telling us how much, you know, like he got impressed, and like he started to checking out stuff, you know, after that gig. And now he's working for like fucking Jazz Denmark, you know, like, and there's like kind of like building networks between, like, let's say like Danish musicians and Korean festival, whatever, you know. And we saw him again. He set up 2 shows for us during this tour, and it's like it's so cool, you know, to realize like that you've been in contact with someone for so long, you know, and like even though you see each other maybe like once every 2 years, you still build a relationship, you know, that is like lasting, and you trust each other, and it's just because you want to do it, you know. There's It's not that it's making business out of setting up our show or like stuff like that. It's just like you respect each other, and it's like I don't know. And we have that with a lot of people that we know. And I think if we had used the booking, that would have never
You are
happened.
gonna miss a part,
Yeah.
which is really important for a musician, I think. The relationship, human relationship with the organizers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are setting up shows too. So it's we are on both sides sometimes, and
Do you have many experiences that you've been playing in a completely, in quotations, wrong place? Like you're,
of course.
like it's like a bit like a strong experimental music, and then you're playing like in a what could be like a perfect example, but like somebody is like ordered a show. Please entertain this crowd, and
yeah.
they think that it will be like something conservative or something. Do you have many examples that you've been in a completely wrong place?
Thousands of them.
One of the last would be related of a little tour we did this year in a bar, not bar but a Jooklo, which is a club, where we were forced to do a encore, a bis. The concert was over, but looks like the people like the concert, so they clap. I take off from the drums because for me, even energy-wise, I was off. I mean, I think they were a beginning and that they were a end, so no time, a space for encore, sounds like entertainment. But the organizer insists, and so Virginia, we were a three-piece band, people. I didn't play the encore because I'm really serious about improvised music. If it's finished, it's finished.
Yeah.
I can't do more.
And the only thing that we were missing, we said, okay, maybe then I play a duo because we were doing with this friend of ours who plays synths and keyboards. He said, yeah, the only thing we haven't done is this, like maybe we do a part like that, why not, and
As encore to make
because I wanna have fun, if I'm doing an encore, I don't wanna jam just because you want.
It's for same to me from the audience perspective that it is never the sort of it's like disappears the show, and then it never comes back.
No.
It's like it's over.
Yeah. So we said, okay, we do it, but
so
we do something different.
Without me, and they play. It was pretty harsh noise, almost saxophone only squeeze.
Because it was the only thing we didn't do on the show.
And
so
synthesizer,
this,
like really like spacey and crazy sounds, but really nothing to do with what we did before. Like before, it was more like a jam. Funky, free,
easy listening,
kind of, but in our way.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, the organizer went to me and tell them to turn down after he insisted to get this.
Like, come on,
happening.
Stage hook.
Yeah, turn down. The sound guy was just
crazy.
Speaking bad, they went crazy with me, with everybody. Why they're doing this? They're ruining everything. Even the day after, a girl was on the concert.
Yeah, she wrote
an email to complain. Like what? I mean, they want it. They had what they want, and they even complained. That I really think we were out of place. Before, even if they enjoy, we were out of place, and after you had the proof we were out of place.
Yeah, but I think it's something from, I don't know why, like nowadays it seems there's a lot more this kind of like entertainment kind of, even for like noise music, like people take it as really like like entertainment, I think it didn't used to be like that, and it happens like that a lot, and it's annoying,
I feel even sometimes out of place when they invited us in those improvised music festival, there is this old people comes to see shows, maybe they looking forward to have something.
They really like saxophones.
Yeah,
those older guys.
I feel really out of place. Most not with the crowd, sometimes with the musician as well, the other bands. So I feel like why I'm here, sometimes I feel like I have to do kind of the rebellion, the punk, where there is not needed to be like that, because everything is perfect, you know, the festival is set up in a way everything is comfortable. But sometimes, you know, this kind of situation can create the opposite feeling, because I don't know, we are not, for what, in the way we live the music. I mean, I don't know about her because we are two different units, but I think music can happen in the way I don't know. I don't have much control. I mean, I know what I want to do, but I follow the music when I play. It's kind of, but the improv score, but not the improv in the way maybe a lot of musicians does. Like they have skills, tricks, they do this and that, this scale and that sound. I mean, if I'm drunk, probably the concert gonna have a shape. If I'm upset,
sick.
Or sick, I don't wanna follow, you know, my technique or my, you know, my knowledge, which a lot of musicians just use that as, you know, as main reference. So maybe that's make people curious about our music sometimes, because maybe if you see me today is a thing and tomorrow it's completely another thing, because maybe, you know, that there is no, I mean, I never sign a contract about what kind of music I wanna achieve in my life, so I keep open the book of options, you know, and fresh. That in this way the music kind of renovated.
I think it's important also because if you stick to yourself and if you take yourself too seriously, I think then you become like a puppet, kind of like people like they have this idea of like what Peter Brosman, for instance, you know, should sound like, or like whoever else, you know, and then they want to hear that, you know, it's like forever it has to be that thing,
and
you know, it's like
because improv music should be just an impulse coming from how you say, a need to express something you really want to do in that specific moment, not even specific moment in 1 year, but in that specific concert, you know. Of course our technique is limited, it's not you know, but
I think it's something that has to do with nowadays extreme categorization, you know, like 15 years ago, like if you would go to a show, you know, there would be maybe like 300 people like to see some improv music, you know, just because like I don't know, I remember like places like shows in Bologna, for instance, like or like, you know, or like I don't know, if Wolfire is played or if an improv band played, it was pretty much the same crowd that went to see those things, you know.
Depends, yeah.
Or like maybe of course not exactly the same, but you would see the same faces at a lot of different shows, you know. And nowadays it's just like, okay, it's this kind of show, so like I'm supposed to go there, but I'm not supposed to go to this other show because it's like out of my range, you know. And like, it's the same with musicians, like they're also like, okay, if this is the track I'm following, I'm only following this, and I can't really. It has to do with like specialization. It's like what our age is about, you know, like it's like everything is like so sectorial, you know, like you have to specialize on one thing, and you're not supposed to like to know about other things, you know. It's like
it's been like I feel like with festival that today it's like it's not polite to challenge the audience. It's like you have to be like a sort of or provocation or something. Everything, as you said, everything has to be like very clear what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. And it's not. We never do it on purpose, and to challenge.
No, it's just feeling. Like, you know, like if I feel to do this, there is no audience can make me do the contraries. You know, like I prefer to be honest with myself, and then the people comes later because.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Yeah.
It's so funny. We were invited this summer to play a show in a really beautiful place on the Dolomites Mountains in Italy, like in the north. And it's this woman who is doing like this really, really good job, because she's she's from a very small town in the mountains, and she's creating this series of like mostly like improv music, and she's doing like morning shows. Like she used to do them on like Tuesday morning, so like only like the very few interested people would go, like kind of on purpose, you know. And she's been involving all the mountains community. Like she's trying to get the locals into these things, you know, not just the freaks, kind of.
Yeah.
And then she invited us this summer to play in this like beautiful place, which is like on there's like this waterfall, and it's like just next to this stream where you can like just drink the water from the stream, like really beautiful, like in the middle of the woods.
And it's called Harmonie, which
the series is called
which
Harmonie.
It means like harmonic.
Harmonie, like harmonies.
Harmonies, but because the place is kind of
And she's doing it in different spots.
dreamy place and really untouched by artificial.
Armo is in Finnish, in English, grace and armo are there, you know. Grace in Finnish is armo.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Same shit.
When the advertisement of the show came out, this woman wrote, and she was like pretty upset because she was like, I was planning to go on this Sunday morning walk with my kid and my mother, but after checking out the music that these two guys are playing, I changed my mind. I think, why should you book music like this in such places? You know, it's like really against nature. Like, come on. You know, like, and as a contrast, like in the end, we went there, and the show we played was like super quiet. like people actually complained that they couldn't hear much of the stuff. So it's like sometimes like that, you know. And it's like, what can I do? You know, like too bad for you.
One of my favorite concerts was 5 years ago. You played in Kemia with. I think it was with Dolby Brothers, and you were playing in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just after the festival. I think it was the same year that you played.
Yeah.
It was like so I'm like all buzzed out about the festival. I'm like, oh, it's in my head. And then I think I drove a car there. It's like in a island, Kemia, and then I just lay down in the grass. And birds were chirping, and then you played in the garden, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And there were
Beautiful
also
place.
Tommy Karanen playing.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Actually, that day was really good festival.
Yeah, just funny that Tommy plays this noise, and he was
super
in the
nice.
middle of the
The
bushes.
plants, yeah.
Yes.
It was funny.
We just watched again that video of Tommy.
We did some videos.
And 2 weeks ago we watched it again after a long time, and we showed it to a friend. And then we met him on the plane yesterday.
Tommy.
We were in Oslo. Yes,
wow.
we were in Oslo, and like, well, you know, at the gate, and then like see this guy, I'm like, oh, that looks like Tommy. And then I'm like, maybe it's just someone who looks like him. And then like he also looked at us, and then he comes up after 5 minutes. Hey guys, I'm like, okay, it's you then. It's you for real. He was going back home from Mexico. He was
cool.
touring with the large unit there.
Yeah, I think I never actually. He talks about that he's touring a lot with some big band, but I never like asked what is that.
This is Polynesian Love's large unity. It's just like I think they're like 10, 12,
15 is
15
sometimes 16 even.
This big Norwegian impro band, whatever.
I never saw
But
that.
he was in Mexico. It's so funny to meet him.
I have to find out what's going on with that.
And we tried to go see him. They are playing a show in Italy in 2 weeks, so we tried to go see that, see what he's doing with them.
Yeah, but I think this was it. We've been here like
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Of course, no problem.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good luck with your tour.
Thank you.